Welcome to Bullman Built RC. I am Matt, your favorite YouTuber's least favorite YouTuber. And today I just wanted to show you some stuff because that's what you come here for. So I got a hold of a local-ish guy who is selling everything. Basically wants to uproot himself and move away and all that stuff. So I figured I would help him. So I went over to his house. He had everything basically laid all out and very well organized, I must say. So Jordan and I went through his whole collection of things that he had left, all his trucks, all his parts, wheels, tires, just everything, and brought home some stuff. So now I'm going to show you what I bought. Here we go. First off, we have this VS4-10 Pro. This is not what I went up there for, but when I saw it and we kind of figured out some price stuff, it got thrown in on the deal, and I am pretty happy with everything I got. So if you don't know, this is what came before the Fordyce and the Phoenix and all the H10 optics and anything RTR that brought some of you into the hobby, or some of you here, however you want to call it. So the Pro was one of their original trucks right after the Origin, which was a full cab and a lot of things were metal. And then they released the Ultra and the Pro. The Pro is a straight axle, and the transmission is a little better. It's got some upgraded gears. It's got some upgraded parts. The Ultra was a portal truck, and then the transmission wasn't as nice. It was kind of all stock parts and everything on a lot of plastic instead of the aluminum that the Pro had as an upgrade. So starting off, you have the half cab body. So this is kind of a cool body. It's like 3 or 4 pieces, I think, plus all the little like bolt-on doodads. So you have the main body, you have the interior, the dash is also separate from the interior, and then I believe the bed, the bed area, floor I guess, is also separate, so you can paint all that different and everything. It does have cool windshield wipers that are an add-on. That's pretty nice. The paint is pretty decent. It's kind of cut a little funny, and it's not exactly perfect all the way around here, but that's not really something that I'm going to worry too much about. Mostly because I don't know what the plan is for this truck. It's just like everything else I buy. Like, I got it at a pretty decent price, and it'll stay because I know what it's worth until someone offers me amount of money that I can't resist and say no to, because it just is what it is, right? So you pop the body off. It does have a light kit. So it's got front and rear lights. And then one of the things that are really cool is I saw that they painted the grille white. So this is plastic, and a lot of times people will actually just leave it black, and then someone actually painted this one white. I assume maybe it was Ken, I'm not sure. It does have a radiator behind the grille, and it's got the cool little headlight buckets and actual lights that go to it. Then you just plug them in via this little JST, right? I think is what that's called. So it's got the handles. It's got 3D printed no, maybe it doesn't. Sure. I think those are 3D printed handles. It has door handles. It has a driver figure. He's a Tamiya guy. Red sideburns and mustache and hair, and he's got a cool jacket on, and maybe he has gloves on. He either has gloves or he put his hands in a deep fryer. I'm not sure. So now down to the chassis. This is where you can really start seeing the difference between a older VP truck and then the newer VP trucks. So this transmission has the aluminum standoffs that came factory. It has machine gears in it that came factory. It has the aluminum motor plate, which was also factory. And I believe this is already locked. This doesn't have a slipper. Pretty sure. So the transmission is already better. It has incision drive shafts, which are already better than the plastic ones. And then, most obviously, it has this engine. I'm not 100% sure what exactly this is modeled after. Whatever it is, it's a motor cover, basically, so it sits on top. I'm not 100% sure what it would add to the realism unless you had a body that had an opening hood, which this does not. Plus, it has the inner fender, so you can't see through it this way. You can't see through it through the front because the radiator's in the way. So, like, I don't know what exactly you see, but it's whatever. It's cool. Maybe it'll come into play at some point in time depending on what I do with this, but right now it doesn't. So anywho, so as far as electronics, this thing has a Torque Master ESC. It has the Green Label Trailmaster Pro 540 from Holmes and a SR 515 receiver. For a steering servo, it has a Reefs RC 555 titanium gears. It does have a winch. I can't get the hook out of the bumper, and I also can't get the servo to spin with my fingers because I almost just sliced my finger open on the thimble thingy that holds all the cord or rope or string, whatever the hell you want to call it. So the battery sits over here. This thing has like some sort of, I don't know if this is Lexan dust or what. But it's inside the cab and everything. Anyway, stock bumpers. And when you roll it over, you can see these are the F9 style axles. So these are aluminum housings. These are actually really, really cool. I like them a lot. The aftermarket F10 axle housings are a little bit cooler than these, but these are pretty much the OG really super cool axles. It does have incision shocks, which really sucks because if you're new and you think that the AE8 or whatever the hell, SA8, whatever the new VP shocks are, if you don't like those, you'll really hate these because you might as well not even just put oil in them or just take the oil and just dump it on the ground first. I have never liked these shocks, and I am a VP fan. Don't ever get me wrong. Almost all my trucks are VP. No matter what has happened between everything, they still make a really good product. These shocks are horrible, but they are original to the truck, so they kind of got to stay. They do come with black aluminum knuckles, and then leading from the knuckles down, you have gray 105s.
This is the worst!
I absolutely despise 105s, mostly because they're 1 inch wide, and then 2 because they should be deeper. I don't like the very shallow offset in the front. I don't like it. It's just not a fan. Wrapped in super swampers, which I am a fan of, and it feels like they both have dual stage. Maybe different. Probably, knowing Kin, they're probably crawler innovations. I could be wrong though. But they do have dual stages in them of some sort. So scale rotors on both ends behind the wheels as well. And then it does have, those are clear rings. And it has the wheel nuts that are scale. So these are caps, and then these are supposed to be the lockouts. So all in all, this is a really super cool truck. Not quite hard to find yet, but I believe as time goes on, they will be getting harder and harder to find. I sold my new in-box one like a big dumb idiot right as they discontinued them because I was trying to get money together for an order right before Beat the Creek last year, I think, and sold it, whatever, and now I have this one. Definitely thinking about putting this one just up on a shelf and letting it chill. I do have another truck that I could probably get rid of that I've wanted to get rid of but just haven't. As I've said before, lately especially, I'm now to a point where I can't just keep collecting these trucks. Like, I've got to have one that's leaving by the time I get another because I'm running out of shelf room. As crazy as that sounds, all these shelves are full. Well, they will be once some of these get bodies and chassis that are on the way or building for them, whatever. All those are full. The whole vintage area now is full with that and comp trucks. I've got bodies laying everywhere. My comp tubers and shit. I've got like a whole build area shelf over there. And like it's just getting full. I've got a shelf behind you that's full. I can't just keep collecting trucks, or else some of them are going to end up just sitting in a box because I don't have room for them. I could probably make a little bit of room over there, but that's like one truck that I can get rid of a box of stuff. So, anywho, regardless. So this is my new Pro that will have to find a home because something else will have to find a home. So, next! Speaking of vintage VP stuff, a couple weeks ago you saw a video, if you watched them, where I got some SLW3s for my vintage Scorpion comp truck. Well, I picked up another set of SLW1. So if you don't know, the SLW is the hub. That is something that I believe VP came up with and then everyone now has adapted. So these are OG VP wheels. They are really rough. However, they are what they are. They are still vintage SLW3 VP wheels. They also have like monstrous ass 600 hubs or so probably. These things are huge. They stick out all the way to the back of the wheel. On the negative side, they do have knockoff swampers. However, they are the 4.3s. And in all honesty, you can't really find the Pro Line 4.3s. And if you do, a lot of times they're junk or they're a bazillion dollars. Or if they're like mine, I did find a nice set, took them out of the pack, put them on some Ingans. They're not stretched, but you know, they're kind of like, you know, square basically. And they're already dry rotted and cracked all to hell to where I'm going to have to replace them before I even take that truck anywhere this summer to show it off. So that kind of sucks. And this may be my only option is to buy cheap knockoffs, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do when they decide to stop making things that they should never have stopped making, because these are a really cool tire. A little bit bigger than a 419, smaller than a 475, perfect for a lot of stuff. Proline, if you're listening, come the hell on, make the 4.3 Swamper again, okay? Next, speaking of things that are hard to get, I also picked up a super cool set of Vision RC 1.9s. These are Visions that Bob made in 2022 for the very last K&K TTC. These were given away as a door prize gift of some sort. I'm not exactly sure how that worked. They say 22 K&K TTC, the Resurrection. I'm assuming they didn't have it in like 20 or 21 or whatever. That way they resurrected the TTC after the, you know, the thing that happened. So I got those. They came in this really cool box that they don't use anymore, I don't think, unless it's just for like special edition stuff. And those will be going up in my little keepsake box, where a lot of my stuff that doesn't need to just sit out all the time and possibly get scratched and all my nice stuff goes. So I got those, and I am freaking pumped about that, because those are sick. They're my favorite color, and they're Visions, which I also love. So like, and they're special edition, real low number. So like, it's just like boom, 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 boom of things that I like. You know what I'm saying? Next, one of the other trucks that I actually got from Ken is this. This is a Loops resin bodied LC70, FC70, FJ70. I've gotten so many freaking answers to what the hell this thing is, because Ken says it's one thing and that's what Loops said, and then this other guy that's like from Australia told me, nope, that's a blah 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 whatever. So I don't know. Supposedly this is a little smaller than a Land Cruiser, so it's like the LJ, FLC, some shit. I don't know. Anyway, so as usual, I will start from the top and give you the rundown. First up, we have the resin Loops body, whatever the hell you want to call this thing. It's a mid-80s Land Cruiser of some sort. How's that? It comes basically like this. It's been glued together somehow. It does have these cool fender flares, so you get that tire coverage. I really like the front of this thing. It looks like an old freaking, like, I don't know, semi or something. And it is pretty decently narrow, which is cool. On the back, we do have this cool bed. This is like a flatbed, I think they call it a tray or something like that. And so the sides actually unclip, and then all three of the sides and the rear will come off, and you can just have a flatbed. It has a headache rack. It does look like there's provisions for something to like come back and down maybe. I'm not 100% sure exactly how this is supposed to work. It's got a little area here maybe for a step to step over. It's got little mud flaps, you know, kind of little. That's how I got your mom, just that little motion right there. Other than that, the body is really not done, so there's not a whole lot to talk about. It doesn't have lights or anything. But underneath this thing is really, really cool, actually. Okay, so if you flip the body up, this is a GCM Delta 1, Delta C, something along those lines. It's an original Delta GCM chassis. I normally try to have all this stuff ready, but I went into Ken's house. He's been doing this so long, and he builds so many really unique trucks. He was just throwing information at me, and my brain could not absorb all of it. I caught like the highlights. This is a GCM because almost everything he had is a GCM. And then it was something, some things, and this and that. It is 10-2 based. So you do have a 3-gear up here, but it is mounted to like a plate, kind of like something you would see on a comp chassis. So you have the spur gear in the motor, and then it goes back over here, down through the transmission, and then back out, and then follows the drive shaft here to the transfer case, and then the transfer case to the rear and the front. So the chassis is pretty cool. It is all aluminum. It's been milled. It is a very straight line curve. I don't really remember what you call that. Anyway, so it's got a magnet up here. That's how the body stays on. And so we are dealing with a Trailmaster Sport 540, a 1080 Quick Run, a Spectrum SR 315, and a high-tech HS7950TH, high voltage, high torque. Aluminum arm goes down, and then it actually goes down, surprisingly, especially for Ken, it goes down to 10-2s. Everything he owned almost was basically GCM based. So this being on 10-2s was interesting, but it does have SSD housings. So they are a 3-piece housing, which is nice because these are a little stronger. Even with these tiny ass little tires, that's really not going to matter a whole lot. but just knowing that you have that confidence to be able to do that. On the rear, same thing, SSD. So the links use like typical Traxxas or VP style rod ends. The rear has longer rod ends that are cut, but then I don't really know that makes it much. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, so the rear is 4-link. The front is a 3-link with a panhard. And it has Proline scalar shocks, which are actually pretty cool. Some sort of aluminum, steely, like Land Cruiser, whatever-esque wheels that are painted, we'll call it charcoal. And then it has the RC 4-wheel drive Goodyear Wrangler tires on it. Past all that, it doesn't really have a whole lot of detail because it's not finished. So in here, you have the dash, which is actually really, really friggin' nice. The console, I've got the killer body mount of some sort. I've got a wheel, whatever the hell, this is a slider, but it's broken. I have another slider and then one seat. So that's half the interior, I guess. So I got that. And then in here, we have the other seat. The door panels that are warped as shit. I have to flatten those back out. Some golf marker stickers. So we've got like American flags and eagle and star. Looks like the freaking Captain America star and like some skull and bones, but they're the American flag. And then I have this stuff. Not real sure what this is exactly. These are the, oh, okay, now I see. It's laser cut. So they've laser cut this with the white protective film on it, and then that's what is actually burned all the way around. So I should just be able to remove this film and the windows will be clear, hopefully. And then there's the back window. So I got the front window, the back window, both sides. I assume this is a rear bumper. Since it has this bed on the back, it won't have a rear bumper like that. I've got windshield wipers, mirrors, grill mesh, lights, and light buckets. Now, as usual, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It may end up staying here. Jordan really wants to do tiny tire things like sub 385, like small class 0 style crawlers. He bought a YJ from Ken, so he is now doing a short wheelbase TF2 YJ. If I do put it together and I decide it's just not really for me, then I'll just put it up for sale. Speaking of things for sale, think about becoming a channel member because you get to see the things that I have for sale first. You also get to see videos a day early, plus you get to see some behind the scenes stuff. And every once in a while I make a video that's kind of short that just kind of shows you some things that other people don't get to see. I never release them out, you know, into the wild and stuff. And then once they leave my member area, then they go to my group, Bullman Built RC group on Facebook. Go in there, ask to join, answer the questions so I know you're not a robot. And then we'll let you in. You get to see all sorts of cool stuff. You get to see things that are for sale after the members, but before the main public. Anyway, back to some more stuff. To round out today's Mailbox Monday with more tires and wheels, I got these from Ken. These are locked up. I don't know what they are called, but they're solid face, and they are pretty freaking sick. So there's all 4 of them. They have mostly scale hardware. Some of the scale hardware has been lost and then replaced with like some grub screws, and every once in a while you have like a regular button head or something in there. It also has the 350 hubs inside, obviously wrapped around some Predator Super Swampers, which is my favorite. And inside he said he has some sort of, maybe these are flubber stuffers or something. I don't remember. These are the blue and purpley and then green ones. And he said, one is the back and one is the front. And you should be able to tell. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I can tell. That one's a little stiffer. These 2 are stiffer. That's the rear. And you can. These are a little stiffer than these. And so these are the rear because they're stiffer. And then these are the front. It is debatable and people want to argue about it. But the reason that I do the things I do is I will put the heavier foams in the rear and the softer ones in the front. Especially if they are either 3D printed or non-foam foams, so they're technically just inserts, whatever you want to call them. That way you do have the sidewall stability of the printed foam or the insert made out of silicone or rubber or your mom's dildos, whatever the hell it's made out of. And then the rear is actually a little firmer. That way when you're going on an incline and all the weight transfers to the back of the truck, you have more support there to hold all that weight and not just flatten your rear tires. That way they're doing that like paddly tire thing when you're spinning. So that's one of the reasons you put firmer foams in the rear. tidbit of information for you if you didn't know. So that concludes Mailbox Monday. I appreciate you watching. Stay around for the bloopers, and I will see you later. Bye! Start all that over. That was stupid. Anyway, damn it. What came before the Pro, or fuck me, man. Mailbox! But it does have like a radio behind, or radio, damn it. Where the hell did it go? Where's the thing? Oh, it's stuck in there. Oh, well, that ain't coming out. These things, or else the lot of bitch. Get it together, bitch. These things kind of cool. Which is probably why I bought it. Printed resin. Nope. Hang on. Hood doesn't open. The fenders don't open. Obviously, the fenders don't open. You fucking idiot. Well, it's midnight in Montgomery. Oh shit! That just. Oh dang. Okay. That's interesting. Got a little fender. Or that is a 3-gear. Well, shit, that's a whole goddamn 3-gear. Anyway, shit. Get out of there. Or get in there, actually, is what I need you to do. Light up the purple sky. Bitch! What the fuck? God damn it. Bitch. What are you doing? Get stupid piece of shit. Feel that lonesome chill. So I should be able to just remove this laser, or this shit. This, then, or wait, with like set, grub, shit. There's those 155s right there. It's been replaced, and no. A little bit of tidbit tails, actually. How did I miss that? I literally looked all over this wall like 3 times. They're right there. When the wind is right, you hear it go.